plenty of rumors about the German Big Four or Big Three, depending on how many bands we are talking about in this case. Do you see any hope to bring this two together with Destruction, Sodom and Kreator? Maybe even with Tankard?
That's not something we've been thinking of right now. It could happen, I guess. We're not against the idea. I know there's a festival in Mexico where we sort of happening. If the show happens, that's another story. But I think they did that a few years ago. Actually, I remember doing. That's back 2010 or 11. I was still in Dragon Force around that time, but I was helping my friend Stefan from Budapest and Sinsaenum had a TV show in France. And I was just helping doing interviews because I knew the musician, so it was like an interesting interaction. And I remember interviewing Schmier, Tom, and Miller the same night at that festival in France, which I can't remember the name of right now. So I guess it did happen every now and then, but right now that's not not something we're working on.
What was the worst food you have ever had on tour?
Oh, food? Today. No, actually it's always good because the girl working in the catering. Yeah. It's always amazing. Yeah. So the worst one was the one that comes to mind is Bergara in Spain, or is it Spain or is it like Basque? I think the Basque over there. I was on tour with a guy. I was playing in Heavenly back then, so that was in 2001. The food was so bad that we acted like rock star and peed in the shower because we thought the catering was just atrocious. It was like uncooked fries with ketchup and overcooked pasta. It was like really fucking horrible. And I mean, I was, how old was I? 23, so I wasn't really very picky. I was just like, whatever. But that I really remember going like, this is not possible. So. That's what we. Hey, Sammy. That's what we. What are you? That's what I remember. That was the worst one. Yeah.
What are the most essential things that you bring with yourself on tour?
Well, when I leave the house, I make sure that I have my passport, my credit card, my phone, and the cable to charge my phone. That's very important. Then make sure that I have like a toothbrush. Toothbrush, toothpaste. That's in order of, stage clothes. Usually I make a list anyway, so it's like stage clothes, check. Passport, blah blah blah, check. My computer, my laptop. I think I need my laptop. Although I can do pretty much everything on the phone, but I want my laptop anyway. Headphones, Bluetooth headphones. Enough shirts so I can change every day because I like to have a different shirt. Not that I'm dirty, I don't sweat very much, but to me it's just like I need a new shirt every day. So now you know everything. And that's about it, which is pretty much everything that you need. Yeah.
Who or what got you into music?
Into heavy metal, that would be Manowar. That's the first tape that a friend of mine gave me. He said, "Oh, my brother is listening to this. It's heavy metal," and that was the album Kings of Metal. And I just heard that, and I was like, "That's amazing. That's exactly what I want to do as a musician." I don't know. I think because I've been asked that question many times, and I guess the more you tell the story, it sort of like changes, So, but I remember, that's for sure, that when I heard it, it went like, something happened. Something happened with that tape, and my parents were eating, the room just there, and they could see my reaction, I could see their reaction, them going like, because there was still, that was in 1990, and I don't know, like heavy metal nowadays, I think it's more common to listen to like distortion guitar, but back then it was still like, I think they got scared of like, what are you becoming, or why are you listening to this?
Satan's music?
Yeah, maybe, we were not, it was not like a Christian family, so, but still like maybe drug music or alcohol music, I don't know, but like a bad reputation kind of thing. So, I remember they went like, and for me it was like feeling, like the powerful voice, and just I don't know, something happened. So I don't know if that day I was like, I want to become a musician, but that day was definitely I want to listen to that music and not the one that I was listening before. This is what I want. And music in general, well, my parents were listening to music all the time. My father was, when he was younger, playing in a small, few small rock bands. My mother was playing, she still plays piano, just for herself, but she was playing piano when she was pregnant, because she heard that babies were listening to what was going on around. So every day she was making sure. So maybe I'd like to believe that the fact that I'm very sensible when it comes to music, sensitive, would be because of that. But there's always been music around. So like the as far as I can remember, it's music, and the one memory that I have, like the oldest I would say, is being in the car with my parents and listening to Cliff Richard, which is, I don't know if you know, Cliff Richard, not Keith Richards, but Cliff Richard, the English singer. My father was a big fan of his music, and that's the oldest memory that I have. So there's always been music.
Are you also a family man?
Family man. I mean, I don't have kids. I don't have brothers or sisters. I'm a lonely child. My parents moved from from their hometown, so we've never been like very big family dinner and whatnot. But being a lonely child, I was very close to my parents, of course. So I suppose in that sense, yes, I am, but maybe not. So half. I don't know. Yeah.
Back to music. What was the first album that you bought?
It's a French band, Niagara Religion, and that was before Manowar. Or was it around the same time? See, that's when you think of it, because it had distortion in these songs. It's around the same time, maybe 89, 90. It had distortion. I think that's the first one I bought. No. It's hard. Because I was buying EPs. I would actually buy some, but is it my mother buying them? I don't know. The first band that I followed, as in it was Milli Vanilli. So that's what I remember. That was my first. Oh, I want more stuff from them rather than before. I think it was just like listening to things, whatever that my parents were playing, or just like, oh, I like that. Could you buy it, or can I buy it? Something. But Milli Vanilli was probably the first band that I sort of like, wow, this is amazing. I love that song, and I want another one and another. So Milli Vanilli. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. I still love the music. I mean, I still think it's great.
Did you hear the album that they released? I mean, the actual band released.
The real Milli Vanilli.
The real Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, they're like 7 on the cover. It's like, this is us. It didn't do it for me.
Okay.
Maybe I had like a guy crush on them. I don't know. But to me, I think that when we learned that it was not there, it was like sort of, you can have my vinyls anywhere, I don't care. Like a lot of fans, which it's not their fault. There's something you can find on YouTube, documentary about Milli Vanilli. It's quite interesting and sad as well, because these guys were just, they just wanted to have fun, and they were good dancers, but not good singers. And then,
one of them committed suicide, I think, after the scandal.
He died. I think it was just alcohol, drugs consumption. I'm not sure if that's really a suicide, because I think he was trying to get back on tracks. So, but you have to watch that YouTube thing.
What was the first concert that you went to?
With my parents, Cliff Richard. I fell asleep. The first. You need to. No, you can probably. So there's gonna be an edit right now. I'll be right back. And we're back. The first metal gig I went to, I guess it's actually, I played on that gig because Loud Blast was headlining, and I was a big fan of the band, so actually I played and then got to see them. So I guess that's my first gig, and then I went to see Iron Maiden, and that was in 95, so that was with Blaze Bayley. It was My Dying Bride, The Almighty, and Maiden.
Cool.
Yeah, it was okay.
What was the first gear that you had?
The brand of the guitar was Court. So it was Court something, I don't know, it was black with a Floyd rose. And I remember my dad and myself trying to change the strings, and almost like cut my eye, just like the E. And I had a Boss overdrive. Is it a super overdrive? Like the yellow one. And I would plug that directly into my stereo system. That's how I started.
What was the first song that you played?
Before that, I had actually an acoustic guitar. Well, that was my dad's acoustic guitar. I still have it. It's a Yamaha. And the first songs the two, because I'm not sure which one's first, but they're pretty similar actually. It was with one finger, and you can do it too. It was Running Free, Iron Maiden, or either that one or worse, I Wanna Be Somebody, because I had the live version, and he's getting the crowd to sing along. It's like doom 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 doom, which is close enough to do. So yeah, it's one of the two with only one finger.
Many old bands have retired recently, like Slayer, for example, and many others have followed them. And many of the musicians have died. How do you see the future of the scene?
I don't know. Is there any new bands that came in the recent years that are actually taking? Because it's always like the same. I feel like when I started listening to music, those bands were the bands that we're still listening to now. They're still headlining. Were already sort of headlining back then, like Iron Maiden, Metallica, Guns N' Roses. Those big names are still there. There are probably some new bands, but I guess I don't know. I mean, being in the music business myself, I don't really pay attention to these things anymore. Like I don't want to sound like I'm jaded or I don't care, but it's more like I was talking with Debbie from the band Hey Riot from the UK, and she plays guitar and sings, and I said, is there any band that you could recommend? Was it her or was it someone else? But no, maybe a girl from Nuclear Blast. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Miriam from Nuclear Blast. Sorry, we mixed the two stories. But that got me to mention the band Hey Riot, which is a cool band. But yeah, no, it was a girl named Miriam. She works at Nuclear Blast in France, and she was explaining like new bands and blah blah. She said this one. I was like, never heard of them. This one, no idea. Then the third one, no idea. I'm like, really? What? And do they have a lot of followers? And then she showed me like the numbers on Spotify. They had like a million streams for particular songs, and I'm like, I'm completely out of touch. Is it really? Because I thought I was pretty much, aware of what was going on, but I guess I'm not. So the future of the scene, I guess there are bands that people are listening to, and I'm happy listening to the same old stuff, and try to be honest as much as possible, as opposed to trying to be current and like in the now and figure out what do they like now. I think it's more honest to play what I know best. I don't know. Is that a young man's answer or an old man's answer? Maybe old man answer.
What would you advise to the new bands who are just starting the music career?
Don't be an old man. A young band, it's hard, it's difficult, and I can only imagine how difficult it is nowadays because when we started, I guess it was easier to. You had that process of like you need a label, and then there was less. Now with the internet, everything is open. It's like everybody can record, with like a small system, a computer. You can make an album. So it must be very difficult to be recognized and to be different than the others. So I don't really have any advices. I mean, the same old advices are still to this day, just like practice your instrument, be honest, and be ready to not have like instant success, and just like keep practicing and be patient and be good. But then, I mean, other than that, cannot. It must be difficult to start nowadays.
Last few questions. If you had the chance to pick the bands for a Sinsaenum tribute album, who would you like to hear to cover your songs?
Well, I don't know, probably these bands that I never heard of. If anyone would cover any song, any band, I'd be actually very, honored. So it'd be funny to have Morbid Angel to cover one of our songs because we're definitely influenced by them. So that'd be fun. But other than that, honestly, anyone that would play, because I remember I saw a video of a kid playing the Final Resolve on drums, and I was just like, oh wow, this is amazing. I'm still, like I said, I'm not really jaded after all these years. I'm playing Kreator, it's pretty cool, but I'm still not going like, oh, I don't care, I'm still like, I feel like in that sense I'm not so old man, in that sense that I'm still like a kid and I don't take anything for granted. So anyone that shows support to whatever I'm doing, I'm still like, thank you very much. So
What are your 5 favorite albums of all time?
It changes all the time. It's definitely Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick, Pestilence, Spheres, Alan Holsworth, Antabacron, then probably Iron Maiden. It changes because I used to say Summer in Time, nowadays I'd say Killers, and then I would have to put, let's say Cliff Richard, I'm No Hero. It's a good album, it's a great album. But it's more than 5, it's difficult because then I'm like, fuck, I should have said Billy Joel, or Elton John is amazing as well, and then I didn't say Metallica, or Slayer. So there's a lot of good albums, but those 5, I suppose.
What's the meaning of life?
I don't know, life is short. That something that like I said, when my father passed away, it just makes you realize that death is real. Or I don't know, it sounds pretty cliche, and but to me, my world, and it just recenters everything of what's important, what not. So I guess, life is short. There's no time to be bothered with like unnecessary bullshit. So I don't know. I guess I'm here. I didn't choose. I didn't choose to be born. It's short, so you might as well do exactly what you want to do. Be good, be nice. There's no point, there's no point being evil to anyone. Just meaning of life. I don't know if there's a meaning, but it's just we're here. We better be nice to each other and then have fun. Something like that.
Any last words to your fans?
Be nice to each other. Thanks for the support. And keep listening to metal or whatever you like. I don't care.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.